Wow, what can I say? I'm impressed. But the one thing I gotta question is, why the hell they made the cell red? It kind of looks like if Ronald McDonald was promoting a wrestling show, if you ask me. Everybody, this is HDX here, and I want to make my after-show thoughts here on WWE's Hell in a Cell here. Now, I'm going to make this a little bit more quick here by let's skipping the kickoff show because I didn't even care the kickoff show here. The first match here, the Hell in a Cell match here. Way to start the show here between Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy. I got to say, that was the most brutal and intense match that I freaking love. I mean, brutal in a good way. Like, one of the highlights that I like was Randy Orton bringing in a screwdriver and right on the gauge hole on one of Jeff Hardy's ears and twisting it like and Jeff Hardy holding the ceiling, the very ceiling of the cell, and he falls down just when you thought he was gonna hit Randy Orton. Randy Orton moved out the way, and I was like, damn, that is one hell of a way to start the show. Like, hands down, one hell of a way to start the show here. Coming up next, we have Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch here, and Becky Lynch is the babyface. We all know that, but WWE trying to make up the narrative solely on the basis that they always do it for Charlotte Flair because she's a Flair, duh. But in the end, Becky Lynch won the title, and I'm glad they got it right. I'm just hoping that they do not flip-flop that title back and forth. Otherwise, it's going to lose the prestige. Like, Becky needs to hold on to that title as long as possible. As long as possible. Hopefully at the end of the year. I mean, we'll see what happens. Tag Team Championship match between Ziggler and McIntyre versus Ambrose versus Rollins. Honestly, I just didn't even care about the match, but it was decent, but I honestly didn't care because I know who was going to win at the end. Ziggler and McIntyre. I didn't even care about that. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship, which I was hoping they were going to put this in the main event, put that in a Hell in a Cell match here. But at the same time, like, that would end that feud way too early here. A good, amazing 19 minutes, but with a shit finish that is just seemed more questionable. You see AJ Styles tapping out, but at the same time, the referee called it as a pin. What a shit finish. I mean, really? Really? I mean, you could have ended in a draw, and it would make a lot more sense. I mean, you know, to continue the feud here. And I can tell that they're going to do like a rematch in Super Showdown that is going to take place in Melbourne, Australia. That is going to be a street fight here of some sort. I'm just hoping that, like, Samoa Joe wins the title and then, like, put the feud on hold and then saving it for WrestleMania season. You know, like, if AJ Styles wins the Royal Rumble and then faces Samoa Joe at WrestleMania, that could be very good here. I can't wait to see that. I hope they get it right. We have Ronda Rousey defeated Alexa Bliss with Alicia Fox and Mickie James via submission for the Raw Women's Championship. Honestly, I didn't care from the start to finish. I just believe that it was just an overbooked shit show, but at least Alexa Bliss's reign of terror ends. I hope that initiative dies now. Just throw it in the garbage can and just be done with it. Rousey wins, but they just did it out of notoriety. I can tell they just did it out of notoriety. And at this point, that I think that my fears have become more true. The fact that Rousey is going to face Nikki Bella for the Raw Women's Championship as the Evolution main event. And this is the main event that we do not want it to begin with. But they just keep pushing it anyway because, you know, they got to sell it. They got to sell tickets. They got to sell subscriptions just for the sake of the fact that it's because they have name notoriety. Nikki Bella's popularity and Ronda Rousey's notoriety. It felt like that the Women's Revolution was just changed to the point where it's like Ronda Rousey's notoriety, that's the Women's Revolution. Everybody else pushed aside. Overall, just ridiculous. And the main event, Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in a Hell in a Cell match with Mick Foley as the special guest referee in the confines of a newly red steel cage, a newly red cell that I said earlier looks like it looks like it's plastic. I mean, when you put in red instead of silver, it looks like a plastic playpen. That looks like it came out of McDonald's, as if Ronald McDonald was promoting a wrestling show. I mean, like, really? A red cage? Painted red instead of silver. Because I wouldn't be surprised if Hell in a Cell is a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. Sponsor? McDonald's! Ba-da-ba-ba-ba! Wow, WWE. That was stupid. And the one thing to note out that this is Braun Strowman's Money in the Bank cash-in match. That it ended in a no contest. Really? A no contest? And ended in a no contest once Brock Lesnar popped in there out of nowhere and just wreaked havoc at both Strowman and Reigns. And yet he made it clear that he did not care for the Universal title. He made it specifically clear. He just wanted to collect his checks by doing little to nothing and just walk out. But why the hell is he back in all of a sudden? What was the purpose of that? And it ended in a no contest. And it wasted Braun Strowman's cash-in match opportunity. They do it for Roman. Like always. It's ridiculous. Overall, just absolutely ridiculous. I give this pay-per-view a 6 out of 10. I mean, there's some good matches in there, but with a shit finish. That match between Hardy versus Orton, that's one way to start good in the match, but then it just killed it dead in its tracks. The way they ended it in a no contest. The main event ended in a no contest. I mean, like, really? Really, WWE? You do it for Roman. Because you don't want to give Braun Strowman the title because he's supposed to be the heel. He's supposed to be the bad guy. Just because he joined Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, who are nothing more but a couple of cogs at this point. I'm sorry about that, but it just baffles me here. Overall, I enjoyed the show, but I didn't invest it in very emotionally. See you guys later.